Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's episode is lesson number 3, coming all the way from Practical Law Academy. Now if you're here in this space for the first time, you can go check out our YouTube channel, and we try to give you in this particular module, which is the Practical Law Academy, we try to teach you practical skills from real life experiences and how over the period of time these skills help you skip and not waste a lot of your time and grow in this profession in your own holistic manner. So we kind of create this ecosystem. In future we plan to bring in a lot of experts on this particular platform, and if you like this video, do share it with a lot of people that you know can this be helpful for. Now in this today's topic, which is lesson number 3, we already discussed in lesson 1 and 2 about thinking and the behavior of a particular lawyer. But in lesson 3, we are going to discuss a very important point and a very important topic which a lot of us are not actually practically equipped with, which is the art of asking the right questions to your client. And why I say this? Because as in my own experience, I see clients when they come to you with a lot of story which is sometimes not needed, sometimes not effective for the case, sometimes entire your client's stand or opposite to what he wants to do, the objective is. And hence I have tried to build this lesson on some basic principles, and this will teach you absolutely how to take out the relevant information from the irrelevant one. So let's just dig deep into this particular topic, and for this the first thing is the structure. The structure will help you get the conversations right. Now a lot of lawyers, when their practical life, they will know that sometimes you would not have the right answer, but if you ask the right questions to the client upfront, it will help you solve a lot of risk for yourself as well, so that you are also protected end of the day with the client. And that is why the structure has two aspects to it. Now according to me, client can come to you with facts and the client can come to you with a narrative. The narrative can be very different. Sometimes we don't need all that information that the client gives you. You need to figure out the relevant facts, and this relevant facts give structure to your conversation. So this is a core principle, I would say, of particular asking the right questions. First thing is to make out the noise, differentiate from what is relevant for us. And how you do this is by telling this, okay, when you listen to the client first time, you will always know that first time you are not getting the full truth from the client. By the way, you should always know this. And intentionally, unintentionally, clients don't tend to tell everything. So sometimes it's strategic, sometimes they unknowingly do it, but it is our job as lawyers to figure out something that can help us in our submissions as well as risk mitigation. So the second thing I think is very important for us as lawyers to figure out is the completeness. Now, for the completeness, what I mean to say is that you will need to ask the client that, is this the full story? Are you aware of certain facts behind this? Are you aware what triggered this? Are you aware of what possibility can happen after this? So this completeness, such kind of questions will give you a test of completeness, because usually the version that I said the clients are telling you, the first versions, they're not full stories, and hence we need to know everything in detail because we need to do this check in our mind, in our mind and in our notes. The third is very important, is verifiability. Now, when you verify something, that means you are good to go with the submissions also. So, for example, your client could have a story, right? But if you don't have evidence to prove that story, it's no good for us. Whereas a weak story with evidence can be a great move for us. Hence, clients will not understand, but written documents, communication, WhatsApp chats, all of this forms part of our core submissions, and we need to do this due diligence at the very stage of asking the right questions. Very important, the fourth thing is the concept of adverse thinking. Now, as lawyers, we are functioned and structured in such a way that whenever we think of a situation, we think of the worst first, and this is how our brain functions. So, adverse thinking is a core concept of our brain, and hence, because we want to focus on this topic with the client during the fact-finding stage itself, asking them questions like, "What do you think the opposition has that can be attacked? What do you think can be the worst situation in this case, in terms of facts, not the law? We are gonna judge that, but in terms of fact, what is the worst thing you think? What is your weakness? Ask these questions openly, even if the client is not happy about those questions answering you. That is why the solicitor client privilege comes into place, wherein our conversations remain confidential. And hence, adverse thinking, according to me, is a concept that we should always be prepared, and this will be the real strength of your case, because the claim itself has opposition to it. And hence, if you are prepared for this, the strength lies in this particular question, in this particular information that you get from here. So with adverse thinking, what will also happen is a concept called risk mapping. Now we will map out the risk for the client from the very beginning, and the strategy is going to be based on this. This will help you achieve a lot more protection in not just litigation but also corporate commercial matters. The fifth point, which I would like to focus, I think the last point and very important point, is the objective of this client. Sometimes clients come to you with the objective of settlement. Okay, they don't want to go for litigation, and your strategy is based on a kind of a harmony approach is there. You're based on a softer approach rather than a defensive approach, and this is where the objective and the goals for you and the client need to be aligned. So you can always ask questions like, what do you want? Do you want the contract to be specifically performed, or do you want compensation? So it's up to the client, and based on that we decide our strategy. So this objective will also give you one more thing, is that from the very beginning, you and client will be aligned on one particular thing, is the end goal, and that will help you also manage the client expectations. And client expectation itself, I will teach another lesson on this. I will prepare this, and you will get to know more on that episode. But yeah, here coming back, objective of this particular dispute is very important for you to understand. Sometimes client want it for reputation, sometimes for monetary loss, sometimes just personal, could be anything, but you need to understand client's objective and align accordingly. So this is what I think we as lawyers need to do in terms of understanding this concept, is asking the right questions. Right questions help us figure out the relevant answers, and with relevant answers we have an edge over the other person. We have done risk mapping, objectivity, everything is sorted, and then we move to the next steps. So if you like today's lesson, do share this, do put it in the comment your experience, and I hope you come back here to this space, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because besides all the work I do, this is a side gig that I've started, and I hope you like it. Thank you.